Chapter 798. Dean and Leo were caught off guard. They did not react in time and Harper received the full brunt of the attack. An explosion caused blood to rain everywhere, along with the disintegrating spiritual energy. The peak ambience level cultivator, Harper Lawbate, was blown to bits in just one punch. The Xanders were overjoyed. Wilbur was their savior. Yolanda quickly yelled, "Save us, Mr. Penn. They want to kill us." Wilbur glanced at her and shook his head. He looked at Leo and said slowly, "I'm giving you a second chance. Apologize. Compensate them. And we can forget about this." Dean laughed and replied before Leo could speak, "Apologize and compensate? Do you think I'm scared of you?" Wilbur looked at Dean and said nonchalantly, "Oh, you worked with Leo Sith to gain money in such despicable ways. I can't believe you're a saint-level cultivator. You're a disgrace to the cultivators." Dean looked furious and said, "The end goal of cultivation is to enjoy life. I can only enjoy life with enough money. We worked so hard for cultivation, so what's wrong with a little enjoyment?" Wilbur shook his head and said, "Do you think cultivation is for enjoyment? It looks like being a saint-level cultivator is your limit. That's why you gave up on the spirit of cultivation. You're so corrupt that you're greedy and only seek enjoyment." "Didn't you help the Xanders so you can benefit from it as well?" asked Dean uncaringly. Wilbur replied nonchalantly, "I can't deny that I benefited from helping the Xanders, but as cultivators, we should aim for higher cultivation. Cultivation is all about the joy of reaching new heights, seeking the end of the mystery, to explore yourself and the secrets of the world. It's not about mortal enjoyment." "You sure talk big. Do you think you reached that level? You're only a saint-level cultivator too," said Dean coldly. Wilbur smiled and said, "Maybe, maybe not, but I'll keep pursuing instead of settling for enjoyment. I don't need to gain power with my cultivation to hurt others. Cut the crap and show me what you've got." Dean leaped backward. Gray spiritual energy surged around him as he exuded a terrifying spiritual pressure. Wilbur stood with hands behind his back. He said nonchalantly, "You're a spell cultivator, so I'll let you make the first attack. Don't say I didn't warn you, you arrogant fool." Dean was furious because his opponent disrespected him. He pulled out a black bone flute and held it in his hand. The bone flute was infused with spiritual energy. A lot of runes instantly appeared, exuding a terrifying and deadly aura. Wilbur was surprised. He looked at the bone flute, then laughed. He did not expect Dean to own another wonderful item for him to sacrifice for contributions. It seemed like he made the right choice to stay and help out. A good sacrifice was hard to come by. Dean said coldly, "You may be a saint-level cultivator, but you still have to die." Dean placed the bone flute near his mouth and started to play. A creepy tune could be heard. The Xanders felt like their souls were being torn by an invisible hand when they heard the sound. It almost made their hearts stop. Everyone looked at Dean with horrified faces. They could not believe how powerful that bone flute was. However, Wilbur was unaffected as he stared at Dean coldly. Dean was furious and yelled, "Die!" The runes on the bone flute lit up. Dark clouds rolled in and filled the sky above the yard as if the sky was sinking. Everyone felt terrified as a feeling of despair gnawed away from their insides. "Undead spirits!" Dean shouted as countless transparent spirits suddenly appeared in the dark clouds. They wielded all sorts of weapons and rushed toward Wilbur together. Dean smiled smugly. He acquired the bone flute during his wandering days as a young man and discovered it in an ancient cemetery.